Hey, what's going on, you guys? It is Player Negative AE, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry. It is very late at night, well, early in the morning, but I decided that I would go in and record one so that way we can have an episode out today. So, let's view some tips. I did remember to look at the comments and see to read the tips. It looks like we got one with Coach, which is interesting. And we also got one with, well, I guess Mion is there too, so we'll see what happens. What's this? The sound of the car grew closer, followed by the sound of it braking as the engine cut out. At that moment, his up until now lackadaisical footsteps grew decisive as the man in the room dashed up the wall beside the window and carefully peered outside. It was his comrade's car. Even so, he didn't relax his guard. Eventually, the sound of footsteps approached the door. Thump, 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 thump. It was the passcode.
帰ってきたんね。開けちょくれな。ああ、お疲れ。今開ける。
After the locks were undone and the door was opened, a man appeared, his arms laden with swollen plastic grocery bags. In his hands had the bags in his hands had Seven Smart written on them, with bread and milk cartons able to be glimpsed within. The contents of those bags were then spread over a sheet on the floor.
カップラーメン買ってきちょん。お湯沸かせな。小僧はどうしてる？ん？ずっと寝てる。手がかからなくて助かるよ。うんこ垂れるときは騒ぐけどな。漏らさせんな。練習は万一のとき。やば。わかってるよ。
It's the guy that speaks weird.
猿グツワは定期的にチェックんな。外れてもまずいん。きっち即させたら意味がな。わかってるって。
It's too many abbreviations.
携帯コンロのガス管頼まなかった？
You're allowed two abbreviations. It's the universal rule. You get two, and that's it.
もうガスねえよ。聞いてねえ。
Doesn't matter if you have an accent.
マジかよ。ついてくれよ。くそ、くそ。
He rattled the portable stove as he struggled to get it to light. Seeing that, the man who went to buy supplies let out a deep sigh. And with the backwards glance at that sight, began to walk to the corner of the room. The kidnapped boy was sprawled out on a sheet that was spread on the floor.
小僧、元気かいね。
Of course, the man didn't assume the kid was able to hear that question, because the boy's ears were plugged and with his eyes and ears thoroughly covered by packing tape. Also, his mouth was gagged with a thin, twisted-up towel. Because of that, the boy was unable to close his mouth properly, and his cheeks sticky with his own saliva. Of course, that wasn't the only reason. Both his arms were tied tightly behind his back with a leather belt.
今んところ順調らし。お前のじいさんがしぶり寄ったん。耳たぶの一つも切り落とさなきゃならん。本家はこうと決めたら鬼やんね。どんな残酷なこと命令するかも想像つかん。
So what is Hinamizawa?
その本家が小僧に傷一つつけるな言うてんから。
That was a mystery up until now, right?
順調なんだろう。大臣はダム計画を撤回で水面下工作。南沢ダム計画は無期凍結へ。
Hinamizawa Dam is indefinitely
小
postponed.
僧の解放はいつ早く本家が決着のタイミング測ってるらしい。よかったな小僧。もうじき解放されるぞ。
The men didn't know if their voices were heard by the boy. For him, there was nothing he could do but continue to sleep to escape this harsh reality.
それよ、ガスをどうするんね。ラーメン食え。ガス切れたなら言うてえなもう。
They just revealed that it is the main family that kidnapped the kid. Is what's going on. That's interesting. Not afraid to kidnap a kid and lob an ear off. I mean, I guess they are like Yakuza people. Yeah. The weather forecasts have predicted that it wouldn't rain at all this entire week. It's not that I hate sunny days or anything. When every day is the same, unchanging sunny weather. Every day is the same, unchanging sunny weather, however, anybody would go for a rain cloud or two. If it's simply clear skies for a week, a month, a year, anybody could go long for a rain cloud or two. Weather specialists said that they had carefully scrutinized a large quantity of past data, so it wouldn't be likely for the forecast to be wrong. I knew as much. But even then, there was occasionally a day I was hoping that it would be wrong as I stared up into the clear blue sky. Was I being mischievous and hoping so? I waited and waited, feeling almost suffocated by the boring blue sky, undisturbed by a single cloud. If you could die from that suffocating feeling, the population of Earth wouldn't have increased to this point. In other words, the only person who was being suffocated by this was me. So, I welcomed the summer evenings where not even the weather forecast could predict a sudden shower. If I were to explain it like this, you would understand a bit more about how I feel. Let's say tonight's dinner was going to be curry rice. But when you're called down to the dinner table, what was waiting for you was instead an eggplant and bell pepper stir fry. This is just on your mother's whim, by the way. I would be delighted by such whimsy. I don't really like eggplants or bell peppers, but still, I would be delighted. The fact that the pre-established routine of curry rice had been broken would be amusing. If the night was repeated 100 times, and 100 times you had to eat curry rice, yet for just one night that changed to an eggplant and bell pepper stir fry, there's no way you couldn't enjoy that chance happening. I hate pre-established routines. I really hate when things are decided all beforehand. No love for boredom. I always get my hopes up that someday, or something today, will be different from yesterday, no matter how trivial. It's been decided that this entire week, starting from today, was going to be clear skies. The weather forecast decided upon it, so the god of weather must also feel obliged to do so. But who's to say that a rain cloud might not just show up one day on a whim? It's something nobody can say for sure, but because that thought remains in this world, creatures such as myself can continue living without being suffocated. Tomorrow will probably be a hot and clear day. However, I'm the only one that knows that predetermined fate. Even with but a slim 1% chance, sometimes changes. Hoping for that 1%, I hung upside down weather charms, my sunlit eavesdrows? What the F is that? Never seen that word in my life. Eavesdrows. Eavesdrows? Estros? Maybe I've heard of it and I just don't know what it looks like. But in the end, I spent my days waiting for those unexpected things to happen. I pondered why I was hoping for it. I was hoping for a rain cloud. The answer was simple. I had my fill of clear skies. And why was I hoping for a rain cloud? The answer was simple. The fact that it was going to be sunny all tomorrow was boring. So why was I hoping for a rain cloud? In the end, it doesn't really matter whether it rains or shines tomorrow. Basically, it was just that the rain would water my heart, which was withered from boredom. That's why, rather than a TV drama where the pilot's already been decided, I prefer to look up the sky. Who was that? Who was speaking that? It was just a random person. Was that us? Was that Asaka Kapatsa?
そのお年でこれだけの回復力があるのは、いやいや、お嬢さんなら100でも200でも元気にお過ごしになれますね。
The young doctor in his medical coat said that as he undid the blood pressure cuff from the arm of the old woman that tucked away in her futon.
入江の先生は本にお上手で。 わしんたいなし。
The old lady, Oryu, fainted or laughed faintly with a broad smile on her face. Then turning to the sliding door, she called out in a strong
し
voice.
みこさん、かたえこさんおらんね。入江先生に麦茶でも入れてやりゃな。
The sound of rushed footsteps from the hallway drew closer until finally the door slid smoothly open. What it revealed was a young girl. Looked like the lady's granddaughter. Takeo or Takeo? Taiko?
しみこさんは今日はもう上がっちゃったよ。何かよ。
Taiko? Taiko? Why is she named Taiko?
いや、入江の先生に麦茶を入れたってんな。
うん、了解。
Okay.
抹茶も飲む？紅茶の方がいい？砂糖もミルクもたっぷり？
わしが加減するから入れんでええんね。砂糖壺とミルクも一緒に持ってきてんな。
はいはい。
The girl named Mion, after giving a rather uninterested response to her taskmaster of a grandmother, returned to the hallway.
先生の麦茶は来客用のガラスジャーに入れるんよ。ちゃんとお座布団もつけてな。水滴もちゃんと拭き取っとくんね。
待ってるって。うっさいな。
A tired voice wafted a reply from down the hallway. The apathetic tone was far from unusual. The old lady let out a wry smile, slip across her face as she chided the girl. Jeez, that girl just won't learn. Nothing I ever Nothing I ever scold her about sticks. Oh, that took me a while to understand.
まあまあまあまあまあ、そこまでは言わなくても、ミオンちゃんも若いなりに頑張ってますから。
あれの母親もな、しょうがないやっちゃったんね。で、その母親の母親もまたそっくりなんじゃないですか？
Christian hadn't taken the comment the wrong way. You know what I think would be an interesting story?
入江先生、申し訳ない。風が涼しそうだわ。
The cool chirping of the Higurashi at some point had started leaking through the gap in the doorway. Yurie stood up and opened the door a bit. A refreshing breeze pulled out the stale air that had built up in the room.
日中はだいぶ暑くなったように思うんですが、まだ朝夕は涼しいですね。
そんな朝夕もまた。
Sounds like California.
のいいところな。
Sounds like 100% West Coast United States. Or at least California. I wouldn't say West Coast because there's Seattle and where it rains all the time. It's just hot in the days and cold in the evenings over here. Pretty much year round. And then the two of them for a little while soaked in the voices of the Higurashi.
わしゃ100まで生きにせ。もうしばらくは死ねんよ。
国が一度決めたことを撤回するのはなかなか。
国のやることはな、いつの世もイシウス回すみたいな。
イシウス？
知らんねか、イシウス。
Yurie quickly affirmed that he knew what the old lady was talking about. For he knew
国のイシウスはな、
full well what the lady was
な
talking.
んでもゴリゴリ引いちまうん。大したもん。でもな、簡単にはまあたくさんの人間がせーのってやってようやくじりじりと動き出
Yurie
す。
pursed his lips,
そ
listening
んなイ
quietly
シ
to
ウ
what
ス
she
な
was
ん
saying.
よ。
Eventually, Mion returned with some tea laid out on a tray. Seeing that Oryu was talking and in a good mood, she quietly knelt down and laid out the sets for the barley and black tea, careful not to interrupt.
だから一度回り始めたら簡単には止められんね。回し始める一番初めがそれが嫌だか。
摩擦係数の話でしょ？ 確かにばっちゃんの話、理屈はあるね。
ちゅうことはだ。何かの間違いで突然イシュースが止まっちまったら、また回すにゃどえらい
確かに一度中断した計画をもう一度動かすのに必要なエネルギーは
簡単には止められんイシュースだけどな。一度止めれば二度とは回らん、そういうイシュース。
石臼を止めるいい手があればいいんですがね。
When Irie responded with that, Mion and the old lady suddenly sunk into silence. Irie, instinctively thinking that he had said something rude, searched in a small panic for the words to correct himself. But that silence wasn't the result of rude words. For what crept across Mion and the old lady's faces were contemptuous smiles. The atmosphere surrounding Irie suddenly froze, leaving him flabbergasted. Thinking that scornful smiles creeping across both their faces was the result of some mistake of his, he could only grow afraid. It hadn't been that long at all since he was enveloped by silence. However, unable to stand it, Irie could only let out a weak laugh. Irie's laugh eventually spread to Mion and the old lady, not knowing exactly what they were laughing at. Their laughter left a lingering chill. The only ones not laughing were the Higurashi, who continued their simple and unchanging chorus. Jesus. Those tips. Okay. I mean, they just kidnapped a kid. I mean, all those tips kind of explain that, except for this one. I don't know what that one is. I don't know who was Who was that? Who was it? I don't know. We're continuing for a little bit. We'll probably go to 30 minutes today because it's late. But we'll see. It depends on how interesting the story gets. The phone suddenly rang. I woke up in a hurry. The clock read 9 p.m.
しまった。定時連絡の時間を寝過ごした。
赤坂様、外線からお電話が入っておりますが、ご同僚の加納様と申されております。
I knew it. I didn't call in, so they had phoned
す
me.
みません。つないでください。
かしこまりました。おつなぎしますので、一度受話器を置いてお待ちください。
After I put down the receiver for a few seconds, the phone began to ring again.
はい、もしもし。赤坂です。
赤坂くん、加納です。お疲れ様。定時連絡がなかったので、こちらからかけました。そちらの状況はどう？
Leaving the lecture for later, my senior coworker got straight to the
今
point.
日は観光客を装うことで、村長以下の何人かの主同盟の要人との接触に何？
そう。
I was able to ask him anything, but I left a good impression and was able to make a bridge for my investigation for tomorrow
な
onward.
かなか手際がいいね。赤坂くんのどこか初々しい感じが、まずは上守備ってところかな。
比較するほど経験がないので、上守備かはわかりませんが、とりあえず、今日のところは順調。
県警での情報や地元警察の公安、鬼ヶ淵死守同盟は白っぽい。
I still didn't know. I should have been able to say that immediately. I only had to say that, but for some reason I hesitated.
まだ調査中ですので。
そう。なるべく早めにね。分かってると思うけど、今夜が終われば、いつが時間切れという明白な区切りはないけど、それは分かってるよね。
ええ、分かっています。迅速に。だけれど、
うん。
That sounds like a bad
くれ
idea.
ぐれも気をつけてね。相手は暴力主義団体なんだから、油断すれば危険もあり得るからね。危険が迫ったらすぐに連絡を。その場合は地元公安に応援体制を入れられるよ。
ありがとうございます。
Okay.
頑張ります。
他に赤坂くんの方から連
He
絡
acts
はあ
like
る？
he acts like I'm gonna have like phone service to like talk to him. Anything else to report? I reported.
そちらの調査の進展はどうですか？
うん。こっちもみんな頑張ってるけど、なかなかはかどらないよ。だから、君の方の団体も白だと分かったらすぐに帰郷して、室長は鬼ヶ淵も洗っとけって言ってるけど、 俺は鬼が淵な職員一人を一団体調べさせるためだけに出張させるのはすごく痛いよ。
But they do have somebody. They do have the kid. At this point, he was just complaining. He was telling me to stop taking my time, or taking time enjoying my trip, and to finish up and get back.
なるべく早めに蹴りを。
よろしくね。じゃあ他に何もなければ切るよ。
はい、特にありません。
As we were ending our call, he scolded me thoroughly for being late with my irregular report. After that, I hung up the phone and sprawled out on the bed. Come to think of it, I hadn't heard anything from Oishi. He's supposed to contact me about a time and place for to meet with the informant tonight. I thought about getting angry with Oishi in relation for being scolded for forgetting my daily report. Come to think of it, though, Oishi didn't really say anything other than he was going to call tonight. Waiting for a phone call when you didn't know what time it was going to come was in itself rather difficult. Luckily, it appeared instantly. Just when I thought that, the phone rang. I picked up the receiver in a hurry.
もしもし。
これはびっくりしました。赤坂さん、あなた受話器取る。警官辞めても大企業の営業で十分飯が食えますよ。
What the hell? I would never even try something seedy like that.
そこまで過剰に反応されると。しかしいけないな。
This music's kinda cool.
因果な商売ですし、今から考えても遅く。
遠慮いたしますので。
そうですか。それは残念です。じゃあ、では本題。
Many of the executives in the Onogafuchi Defense Alliance had a lot of sway in the neighboring regions. Even in Okinomiya, there were a lot of people with relations in the village. That's not why the meeting in Shishiban Market District, far from Okinomiya, was a matter of course. That's why meeting in the Shishiban Market, far away from Okinomiya, was a matter of course.
赤坂さん、ちょっと迷いましたが、北口からの方が遠回りだけど道は分かりやすかったかもしれない。
いえ、遅れて。
夕飯はもう食べちゃいました。
ええ、済ませてあります。
じゃあ、洋酒派、日本酒派、女の子のいる店といない店はどっちがいいですかね。
お構いなく、勤務中は飲みませんので。
Hearing that, the man that Oishi had brought along bent backwards as he guffawed. I have not seen that word in so long. Clapping Oishi on the shoulder.
ねえ、初々しい人でしょ。その分ちょっぴりサービスしてあげてください。あのお金は全部彼のお財布から出てるんですからね。
The man that Oishi had brought seemed almost like a ticket scalper or bookie. Even his appearance was dubious. The informant grinned deviously.
おい坊主、お前旦那にいくら渡し、だいぶ途中でつまみ食いされてんぞ。
大石氏への仲介手数料も含めていますから、それも含んだ上です。
Even the informant had expected a more extravagant reaction on my part. When I responded matter-of-factly, he realized that I was an entirely different type of person than he was. But rather than putting a distance between us, it seemed that I had piqued his interest.
だから言った、真面目な人でもね、赤坂さん。
But
私たちのような職種の人間は
女の子がいてお酒が飲めるお店での経験がどう
The informant, unable to contain himself, clutched his stomach as he guffawed. There it is again, heedless of the people watching.
もう
Aladi.
赤坂さんはいちいちよっ、さすが高が
大石さん、あなた酔っ払ってます。
オフタイムに飲んで何が悪いんですか。あなたは勤務中でも私おふふふふ
Rishi was the sort that fool around to begin with. Was in such a good mood I couldn't figure out a way to deal with him. Completely different than me, who had come worried about getting every bit of information I could. Oishi-san, after taking so much money, you were supposed to give me information worth at least as much. I thought this, but then I realized that I was getting my information from the informant, so it didn't matter how drunk Oishi was. There's nothing I could complain about, but I still felt slightly riled up. Oishi and the informant, it was no doubt a fake name, but he introduced himself as Sato, led introduced himself as Sato, led the way deeper into the back streets of the market district. Even though the market was bustling, a couple of turns off the main street and you were in an desolate alleyway. Higurashi started climbing the set of stairs on the side of a seedy building. There wasn't any sort of signage, so I couldn't tell if the place was open or if it was even a store at all. Those words coming from Oishi's mouth had absolutely no credibility. Beyond the door, thankfully, was a typical Mahjong parlor. I was relieved that it wasn't the sort of suspicious place that I had to be on my guard about. But
いらっしゃい。あら、大石さん、こっち入ります？すぐ開きますよ。
いいえ。お、待たせましたね。
Mahjong is a game played with 4 people. It seems that a middle-aged man who was going to be our 4th had already arrived and was waiting for us. Ushi made an excuse for why he had taken so long. Eventually, realizing that I was a new face, the older man grew interested.
彼は赤坂さん、東京からはるばる出張されてきた将来有望。
坊主、お前麻雀はできんのか？
まあ、学生時代にそこそこに。
Who plays Mahjong? I played Mahjong twice in my entire life. It's probably really big over in Asia, actually. I should learn how to play it. It actually looks pretty interesting. I've just never really sat down and actually worked with it. I thought you'd be a bit tired from your assignment, leaving you on edge all the time.
今更野暮なことを聞きますが。
まあ、それはいい子なしで。なに、10歳にはかけるわけじゃ。この後いいお店に遊びに行くときに誰が全員分を払うのか。遊
びに行く？どんな店に遊びに行くんですか？
Without reservation, the 3 of them started suggesting places like cabarets, high-class clubs, and even brothels. And at the very least, they were the type of places that you couldn't go to with money that was just for funsies.
私のお金は先日、大石さんに根こそぎ預けて。
じゃあ、坊主が勝て、おめえが勝ったら、この雀荘の支払いはなしで、クラウドに仕事の話でも何でもすればいい。
No matter what happened, it seemed like they were intent on playing Mahjong for free. So I'd have to fasten my resolve a bit. If I was going to be underestimated like this forever, it was going to get in the way of my work.
わかりました。では、少しだけお付き合い。私が勝ったら、アフターの遊びは一切なしで、すぐに仕事の話に入ってもらいますからね。
いいですとも。
I feel like playing Mahjong drunk is probably a bad idea. I don't know much about it, but I feel like playing it drunk might make you worse. I feel like doing anything drunk makes you worse. On that place of the girls dressed up in the gym clothes.
おやすさんも好きだな。私はもちろん馴染みの店をはしごしまくりですよ。佐藤さんはどうし？
私は静かに
バニーさんとでしょ。この間飲みに行った時、バニーさんの尻尾、あれ結局弁償だったの？
マスターに縫製代とか言われて。
What a lively table this was. I'm sure. I could tell the other customers were glaring at us while we loudly continued our crude conversation. Speaking of which, the fact that they assumed I was the same was a bit disheartening. I wish he had taken all the money I had brought, so everything I had left was out of my own pocket. In addition, there wasn't much of that left either. If I kept hanging around him like this, though, his guarding, my wallet would disappear into the night. I had to somehow win and return the conversation on my job. But these people, no matter how you looked at it, were pretty good. Sorry, Yuki. Well, the old man and Sato probably won't fall for this little silly Ricci. I wonder if Akasaka-kun We'll split what I need.
クラウドのリーチなんざこの辺ならそりゃ
Oh ho. This old man is pretty good. He's quietly trying to use one of my safe tiles to complete his hand. Okay, maybe I have no idea how to play this game. Because I remember there being a hand, but I don't remember you having to like to play anything. Oh wow, I'd have to sit down and like look at this game. It seems the Kasuga-kun has at least learned the ropes when it comes to guarding against someone's Riichi. But that will be his
どう
downfall.
した坊主サクッと切らねえかいよくわからなかったらクラウドと同じもんを切って
Ooh, Kasuga-kun's really fretting over this one. It is glaringly obvious that he had a safe tile to discard, but he didn't want to throw it away because it would move him farther from completing his hand. They're so nice when they're young and innocent. Come on, hurry up and throw out the kicker. If he gave me the winning tile, we'd be headed into an establishment where I could do all sorts of licking and sucking. If he gives the old man his winning tile, we'd be headed straight to the place with maids.
これは通りますか？
Wait, this will go through, right? He looked up hesitantly as he threw out a tile that was, too bad.
おいおい危ねえパイでクラウド通るのか
Seems this time you were lucky, but as long as the round kept going, I could still win off the draw. Might Oishi? After that, a Kasuga-kun managed to luckily avoid. Why are we switching? Are we switching people? After that, Akasuka managed to luckily avoid throwing any bad tiles, and somehow the round managed to end without anybody completing a hand. Sato had keenly anticipated that two players were in Riichi and decided to play it safe. What a cool-headed way of playing. Now let's see what kind of hand did Akasuka have. Kun have. When the round ends with nobody winning a Mahjong, anybody in Tenpai has to show their hand, but if you're not in Tenpai, you have no obligation to reveal it. Your average beginner would normally show their hand even if it weren't in Tenpai and start a commotion about how if this tile or that tile came, they would be in Tenpai. But he didn't. Being stingy. Sato reached over to flip the hand that Akasuga-kun had casually placed face down. He was nowhere near Tenpai. Was Kasuga-kun totally bad at this after all? Right then, this old man compared the tiles from Akasuga-kun's hand to the discard pool. A puzzled expression crossed his face.
おめえこの辺りどうして切った
マンズの高いあたりが急に高騰しましたので、大石さんのリーチに対して安全性が高まったのにです。筋でさばけば無難なのに、わざわざ抑えた方がいる。
What?
おうクラウドのテンパイなど鼻から論外っていうわけ
I feel like playing when I played Steins Gate that one time and they were playing that one game where they were playing the thing, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
相当高度な引っ掛けでなければ、私の宝珠を期待したぬるめの手かと思って。それよりも、ダマで張ったあなたの方が。
いつテンパイしたのに気づいた
この辺りですか。ノンタイムで4連続で切ってますよね。初めは食い替えかと思いましたが、私をチラチラ見ていたので、期待しているんだと。
Since when is Akasuka Shino from Naruto? He's just like, I knew all along. It was when you did this that I knew, and then I did this.
あんた麻雀始めてどのくらい？
高校から大学くらいまでの間しかやってい。さあ、続けましょう。佐藤さんはテンパイしなかったから流れて。おや。
It seems like Akasuka-kun is really aware of how the game flows. We thought we were just going to eat him alive, but it looks like that isn't going to be so easy.
大石さん、ソーズが濃すいですね。回しますか。
このボードクラウド降りるな。
あと3つ。佐藤さんはうまくいきそうです。
くそ。
Is this like spoons? I feel like it's like spoons, where you have to like You have to like get like a pattern in your hand or something? Or is it more like poker?
食いたんで引きずり下ろすか。G だ。
C ですか。じゃあすみません。
Okay, it sounds like poker. Sounds like poker, but like... Oh, and then you're gonna call through behind after you declared a straight? Trying to override and interfere?
おめえ
まさか私が生まれる前から打ってるような方々と。あ、それです。
It's game
ト
wrong.
イトイ赤とトラさん。親ですからね。ちょっ
赤坂さんやるな。これは我々も本気ね。
本気のついでに展望も出してもらいましょうかね。
Can you
私は
can you get serious about handing over your points? Fucking air horns, please. I'm tired, so let's end this quickly. That's funny. Kaskakun? This is somehow unreal. Before I could realize that there was an ominous cold air emitting from beneath Akasakun's feet.
ハンズのリャンウーパーが笑ってませんか。
坊主てめえ。
クラウドお前差し込む坊主の親とっととおろすだ。
悔しいですがどうやらそうした手だ。どうだ。太陽トライチ。
すみませんね。ピンフ。
What the fuck?
小僧のくせ
A head bump?
小僧が相手だと。じゃああんた。そう面白いな。あんたら連中が決まって。
あ、赤坂くんですよね。なんだろう。ムードが変わりまくりなんですね。
私をかもって今晩はいいお酒を飲むおつもりだ。どうやら皆さんの当ては外れそうです。単品3色赤1とライチ。
おお、張ってやがったか。
だからあんたいくらダマだからってこんなにぬるい三面なんだから読んでくれなくっちゃ。
It makes me wanna start playing Mahjong now that they're making it fucking like they're adding explosion sounds, so it's making it interesting. Plus it's so fitting, it seems a little scary.
おいクラウ話がちげえぞ。初々しいカモがネギ背負ってきたって言ったな。だ
いや誰でしょう。おいさ、このままじゃ負けるよマジで。
There's a Kaskakun for you to make me get serious. Looks like you really want to be milk dry.
ポンポン気前がいいですね。もう一回ポンです。
Kaskakun was almost singing at this point. The tiles we had open were all pin tiles. You can't be serious. Are you really going for the flush?
坊主4つも晒したら。
そうですね。知ってます？短期待ちって一番いい。
そこまで染めて晒しといて今更出ると思うんじゃねえ。読めてますよ若。それポンでもない。4つポンした時点でトイトイは成立してますからね。あんた今絶好のこいつは鎮一と見せかけでトイトイで食おうという挑発手で。
そう思うならピンズ大石さんの範囲の左打ち。
If that's the case, why don't you try throwing some pins at me?
さっきから切り損ねてるピンズですよね。
It's got to be like some form of like it's got to be like poker but like different. I don't actually not actually sure. Based off what I'm hearing, it sounds like spoons mixed with poker mixed with oh, I have no idea. You have to like reveal your hands though, so that's weird. The crazy eights or something. Speaking of crazy eights, I don't really play crazy eights either, so I would have no idea. Like Go Fish, because like they have to give you stuff. But I guess that's like spoons too. I don't know. At that moment, the old man sent me a sign on the table. The message was simple and clear.
やれ。
こんな若い子に様は好きじゃない。
あうここまで舐められて今
もう知りませんよ。
ではどうぞ。
行くぞリーチだ。オープンで行くぞピンズの一数値待ちだ。
Most likely the tile that Akasaka-kun was waiting for was one of those tiles. With this, Akasaka-kun was no longer capable of winning the hand. When I drew from the wall, I switched out the tile that Akasaka-kun would draw. The tile that I put in was the 1 pin. One of the tiles that the old man was waiting on. Akasaka-kun discarded it a little while ago, so there was no threat of it being the one he needed. I knew he was troubled that the tile he drew was the 1 pin. Of course, he couldn't discard it.
分かってると思うが、オープンリーチに振り
言われるまでもありませんよ。
The tile that came from Akasaka-kun's hands was an honor tile. Only one north wind tile left, isn't there? What the fuck? You were really counting on a really rough wait, weren't you? But with this, Akasaka-kun's fate was decided.
命拾いしたな。だが手は逃げきれなくなることも。
やっぱりそういうことか。
Akasaka-kun glared at the old man with a discerning eye. This guy had pretty good instincts. Did he figure out we were cheating?
やめましょうよ、やっさん。赤さ。
バル、ここまで来てやめられるか。次行け、使わせちまえ。
The next tile Akasaka-kun would draw was the 7 pin. With that, it would be settled. No matter which one he discarded, he played right into the old man's hand. An unavoidable full payout. When I drew my tile, I secretly swamped Akasaka-kun's.
おいおい。
すみません。ついくしゃみを。バップ払いですね。親だから4000オールですか？それともバップは積み棒に？
やるな。100万払いをそういう。
大石さんもそんな見え見えの積み込みはかん。これがババなら今ので卓をひっくり返。
いえあなたはあなたどうして正
直に若い頃はだいぶ鳴らしたんだろ。
早稲田高田の馬場あたりでだいぶ遊ばちょっと勝ちまくりすぎて馴染みの店に今の家内にだいぶ怒られて足を洗ったんです。
勝ちまくりすぎてあんた当時はどのくらい？
メンツにもよりましたが歌舞伎町あたりで打つときは特に相手があれ系の人に命かかってましたからね。
What kind of stakes are those? Did you have Yakuza at your table? Or pro baseball players?
なんだクラウドこのタクは
You buffoon.
どっからこんなプロ雀士みたいなのもうやめ坊主こうさんこう。
ありがとうございます。光栄です。
Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here at the finale of the Mahjong game, which I think right after this, right before I go to bed, I'm going to look up the rules of Mahjong so that way I can see what's going on. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. There's lots of visual novel and roguelike content on the channel. Although I'll mix it up from time to time. This episode was weird. I mean, the tips were the most interesting part about this episode. Obviously, we have an informant, so we're going to see, obviously, what he has to say. Everybody's kind of drunk, so I don't know if we're going to get the information or what's going to go on here. It seems like we are pretty solid as far as winning the game goes, so we'll be able to talk about where I think that was the deal, right? We're going to talk about work, so we'll find out some interesting stuff in the next episode. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.